I was a gut health coach as well when I went to CCI because of my Crohn's disease, and CBD kind of changed my course for my Crohn's. So I wanted to know why. I started making my own CBD and CBG and using it for my clients. I am not going to be 90 years old and taking all these pills. Like, I just don't want to be a big part of this Big Pharma thing. I partnered with a medical marijuana doctor, and he would refer patients to me. He just writes the script basically based on their condition. And after that, they go into a dispensary. They have no idea what to get. He doesn't know what to tell them to get because he's really not versed in any of that. He just knows he legally can give them a script for a cannabis card. I knew that that was kind of my purpose in life, to share my story. And so I published a book. I was the #1 bestseller on Amazon. I just don't tell people a story of how it affected me. I give them education and science behind it. I think if anybody's thought about writing a book or thinks that maybe that's their purpose in life, write it. Write the damn book.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Andrea Maharg. I've been teaching doctors and the general public about the benefits of medicinal cannabis since 2018, the program director at the Cannabis Institute, where we teach other people about this beautiful plant. And I'm here with one of our fantastic graduates from 2021, Angie Lickliter, and we're going to find out all the great stuff she's been doing out in the world. Angie, I'm so happy to have you. Thanks for being here. Tell us what you've been up to since graduating.
Well, thank you so much. And first, I'm going to say, when I took the course in 21, you were doing the science stuff. I think you're doing a lot more now. And I don't think I ever told you this during class, but I hated science until I went to CCI. People about my class, and I'm like, I'm a total science nerd when it comes to cannabis now, because that was my favorite part. And I just absolutely loved the class because of the science part. So I just wanted to tell you that, kudos to you. So I was a gut health coach as well when I went to CCI because of my Crohn's disease, and CBD kind of changed my course for my Crohn's. So I wanted to know why. And that was one of the big reasons I enrolled in CCI. I was a coach already, and so I thought I'm going to add this to my toolbox for sure and share my story. And I partnered with a medical marijuana doctor in our area that was prescribing medical marijuana cards. And he would refer patients to me. He just writes the script basically based on their condition. And after that, they go into a dispensary. They have no idea what to get. He doesn't know what to tell them to get because he's really not versed in any of that. He just knows he legally can give them a script for a cannabis card. So I would coach them online. If they needed me to look up a dispensary in their area, and I would find out the products that best fit their ailment. And then depending on what their needs were, we would meet 2, 3, or 4 times. I actually would meet people at the dispensary. I've met 80-year-old ladies there that were so scared to walk in the door. That was probably some of my favorite coaching that I did. And I started making my own line of CBD. I had been taking CBD, and once I learned about the science behind it and a little bit more about making it, I started making my own CBD and CBG and using it for my clients. And I still do that. And then I started traveling more, and I dove into writing a book. So I had written parts of my Crohn's disease story. Before getting involved in CCI, I had been journaling and just kind of writing as therapy. And I knew that that was kind of my purpose in life, to share my story. And so I published a book. I was the #1 bestseller on Amazon. My husband and I are traveling a lot. So I've actually been selling CBD at some of these RV bashes and get-togethers that we go to, and selling my book, which is really cool because I'm meeting people where they're at instead of, I was on social media, of course, advertising and getting a lot of my clients from there. And it's such a nasty place right now that I just realized my mental health is way more important. So I just let them naturally come to me. I have a client that's been ordering from me for 5 years since I graduated, and she still does every month. And I gradually get new clients. And so through publishing my book last year, I reopened my website back up. People can actually order CBD on there. And I'm doing, continuing to do book signings here and there. And I've done some speaking engagements on different topics. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm semi-retired, I guess. But there's not a month that goes by that I don't talk about cannabis with somebody, or CBD, or my story, or something. And having CCI to give me that, badge of honor of like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I just don't tell people a story of how it affected me. I give them education and science behind it. And I feel like I'm using it more now with all the bad products that are coming out. Around here they sell the hemp derived drinks at the liquor stores. And so I really am trying to educate people on where not to go to get their cannabis. We have dispensaries opening up all over, and somebody I know goes to a smoke shop downtown and they got sick and almost ended up in the ER. As it's more widely used, I feel like there's even more need for education for those safety concerns and safety reasons. 2018 is when I had my surgery for my Crohn's disease, and right before that's when CBD fell into my lap, and I am med-free and haven't seen a GI doctor pretty much since that surgery, and life is good.
That's incredible, especially with the Crohn's disease. We hear about cannabis working for gastrointestinal diseases, but it actually changed your trajectory with being sick.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to have to have surgery. That was kind of no matter what, I'm going to have surgery, because I had mechanical issues with my bowels, all this crazy stuff that had happened through the inflammation that I had. So what the CBD really helped me with was it helped me get off steroids before surgery. It helped me reduce my hydrocodone to next to nothing. And my recovery for surgery was, quote unquote, from the doctor, GI doctor, and the surgeon, a miracle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really instrumental in my recovery and, scarring and, using it on my scars and all of those things.
Oh, that's like a wonderful testimonial. I want to talk more about your book. I read your book. It's wonderful. It's about you recognizing that you had demons in your life that you weren't paying attention to or weren't willing to name, and then taking the initiative and the work to name those and then do the hard work to kind of get over it. Can you talk to us about the book for a little bit, please?
Yeah. And, again, thanks to CCI for it's kind of was one of the catapults I needed to push me to write a book. A publisher showed up in front of me as I was writing my book. I thought my book was going to be about my journey with Crohn's, and always it's going to be devoted. It was still devoted to my grandmother, but she always had a full pill box. And I remember when the couple weeks before she was dying, we spent a lot of time with her in her room, and because we were very close. And she had this pill box that was full of stuff. It was like 3 or 4 times a day, and God knows what you're giving her. And I just always vowed to always have an empty pill box. And that's what my title of my book was going to be, The Empty Pill Box, because I thought I am not going to be 90 years old and taking all these pills. Like, I just don't want to be a big part of this Big Pharma thing, And at the time, cannabis was not in my life. My husband worked for the federal government. He actually facilitated drug testing at work. So, fast forward here to the book, as I'm writing, the whole time, this finding her just kept popping up at the top of the page as I'm writing. I actually hand wrote my book, and then dictated it, and then we edited it and went from there. But as I was writing, I just let the pen flow, and it was crazy how these monsters emerged, because it was always my gut monster. I was the gut girl. I gut girl coaching was the name of my business for a while. Like, it was a monster. And so what happened is these other monsters emerged, and at the very last chapter is about my gut, because all of those monsters affected my gut. And I did not realize that. It was like everything, this full picture came into my vision, and wow, I thought I needed therapy. Like, while I was writing, I thought about getting a counselor to help me get these things out. The pen and paper were all I needed. It really did flush a lot of those demons out and made me realize and connect dots. Journaling is really a part of my life every day. I just feel like it's very therapeutic for people. So much can happen on paper and pen, and nobody needs to know that happened. I felt like it was my due diligence to publish the book and share my story. And it was an amazing process. And I think if anybody's thought about writing a book or thinks that maybe that's their purpose in life, write it. Write the damn book.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Sure.
So now you're traveling, you're book, you're doing book signings, you're selling your stuff. Do you feel complete? Like, does it feel so wonderful to be at this place in your life?
Yeah, 100%. So I haven't worked for anybody since 2008 but myself. And I keep joking, going, well, maybe I should go back to work and get a job. And my friends are like, you've been saying that for 10 years. But I think the whole reason I was saying that is my book wasn't written. I knew there was something else that I should be doing to feel complete in life. And now that that's done, it's published. I've done some book signings, I've done some speaking events, I've done some PR stuff. The purpose of it was for me and to reach people I know I have. And so I feel like my job is done on this earth. Now it's time to just have fun with it.
Yeah. Right now, you can go out and hang out with the seniors and talk to them about cannabis. Being able to share and help them like take the first steps down a pathway is so powerful.
Yes, for sure.
So you graduated a while ago. Can you think back on your time in the program to something that was really impactful for you?
Actually, yes. And just thought about this the other day. We had study buddies in CCI, and Becky was her name. And so the whole time we're studying and talking, she's a recovering alcoholic, right? And this whole time I'm drinking. I wasn't an alcoholic, but like alcohol was still a part of my life. Well, I quit drinking in February of 22. I really feel like having her as my partner through CCI and her sharing her story with alcohol, and then after her getting hurt and using cannabis, it started to open my eyes on how alcohol affects us and how bad it is for us. So I feel like she was planted to partner with me, because the whole time she's talking about her not drinking and her sobriety, I'm going, man, maybe I should quit drinking, And so now it's been 4 years and I don't drink. I have no desire to. I think that was really a big thing for me, was being a partner with her and being able to learn from her about alcohol and see her go through all of that and think, God, I would never want to be to that point in my life.
Yeah.
And I would hate to any of my loved ones to be there either.
Yeah.
So.
We're so lucky that we have cannabis as an alternative. Some people are using it maybe to mask things or hide things, but people are doing that with a whole bunch of other stuff too. And at least this one is like on the scale of safety, extremely safe. All right. If you are watching this and you want to have a super cool study buddy who changes your life so that then you go on to write books and hang out with seniors at RV parks, then you should definitely take the Cannabis Institute's free class. It's called The 3 Steps to Launching Your Cannabis Wellness Business. And in that class, we show you the multitude of different ways that previous Cannabis Institute graduates have gone out and taken the training that they have and made it work out in the world, just like Angie here. So sign up on the links down below. I'll also leave links to everything so that you can get to Angie and talk to her and buy her stuff and get her book and hang out with her. Those will all be down below as well. Angie, again, thanks so much for being here and spending some time with us. It's been lovely to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. How'd we do? Awesome. I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I love doing that because it just brings back it brings, and that's why I love to be on the grad call. And when I connect with you or anybody from CCI, it always makes me go, God, I love this whole thing with CCI and what it's done for me and so many other people.